Your core will never be stable until you do this exercise correctly. In the very first week of precise practice, you completely reorganize the lumbar-pelvic system and dissolve the compensations that keep your lower back overloaded. There is an energetic seal in the sacrum that most people lose without even noticing, and when that seal is loose, all your vital force disperses throughout the body. Chronic lower back pain, a feeling of misalignment in the hips, and fatigue that seems to come out of nowhere are not signs of moral weakness. They are signals that your core has lost its ability to sustain strength without leaking energy. Right now, place one hand on the triangular bone just above the tailbone and feel how that region responds to your conscious touch. Notice if there is tension, if there is emptiness, or if there is presence at the base of your body. What you are about to discover will completely change how you understand stability and presence, because there is a hidden alchemy taking place in your hips. That alchemy happens through the glute bridge march, the #1 exercise for maximum core stability. Most people perform a basic bridge and lose control of the hips at the highest point, where subtle micro-drops deactivate the protective glutes. The march corrects these patterns through precise eccentric control of the hip flexors and co-activation of the glutes and the abdominal wall. You reprogram your base tone, restore a sense of safety to your nervous system, and access grounded presence. Your breathing naturally drops, your posture stabilizes, and a direct connection to your vital force begins to emerge. The lower back compensates because we have lost the ability to maintain pelvic height without excessive conscious effort. This exercise restores the natural pressure organization that protects the spine while releasing executive energy. Each controlled repetition reconnects you to your own axis through precision, not brute force. The body relearns that true stability comes from fine coordination between the glutes and the abdominal wall. When that partnership works, the lower back can finally relax and release its chronic compensatory role. By the end of this video, you will have the complete protocol, exact positioning, execution checkpoints, breathing rhythm, and physical cues that confirm the correct pattern. Every detail that transforms a basic exercise into a reconnection practice will be delivered with no vague promises. This transformation is grounded in the understanding that physical stability gives rise to expanded states of consciousness. Modern discoveries reveal how the nervous system interprets bodily stability as safety, and safety as a gateway to expanded perception. What may seem purely biomechanical is also neurological, energetic, and ultimately a direct path to awakening. Egyptian alchemical texts describe the sacrum as a gateway between worlds, the region where earthly force meets celestial impulse. Scribes of Thoth mapped this triangular bone as a point of transmutation, where dense energy is refined into subtle substance. The work of the adept was to seal this passage through specific postures that contained the dispersal and directed the ascent. When the seal was intact, the entire body vibrated in coherence. When it was loose, vital force leaked through the base like water through a crack in stone. This understanding crossed millennia and reached tantric traditions, which recognized the pelvic floor as the foundation of all conscious elevation. Today, the nervous system reveals why these teachings worked with surgical precision. Mechanoreceptors, scattered throughout the sacrum and sacroiliac joints, constantly monitor micro-movements of the pelvis, sending signals of stability or threat directly to the brainstem. When these sensors detect a drop or instability, even if imperceptible, they trigger protective cascades that tighten muscles, alter breathing, and keep the nervous system in a low-level state of alert. The polyvagal theory decodes this process. Pelvic stability activates the ventral vagal complex, a neurological state of social safety where awareness expands and presence deepens. Instability activates sympathetic branches that narrow perception and accelerate thought. Breathing acts as a bridge between these two worlds, physical and subtle, ancient and modern. Prolonged exhalations during pelvic movement stimulate parasympathetic fibers that travel down the vagus nerve, altering brain chemistry in real time. Cortisol decreases, acetylcholine increases, and brain waves slow into alpha and theta frequencies. What the alchemists called the dragon's breath, a longer exhale than inhale, directly modulates the activity of the nucleus ambiguus in the medulla, the center that coordinates vocalization, swallowing, and heart rhythm. When this nucleus is calm, the entire organism interprets the environment as safe. Fascia responds to this neurological shift with immediate viscoelastic reorganization. Collagen fibers around the pelvis realign, creating a more efficient support network that distributes load without overburdening isolated structures. The sensation is one of containment, as if something that had been leaking has finally been sealed. The glutes respond with soft tonic activation, not forced contraction. The abdomen organizes into balanced pressure that supports without stiffness. The lower back relaxes for the first time after years of chronic compensation. This physical state gives rise to a phenomenon that transcends biomechanics: expanded presence emerging from a stabilized core. When the nervous system reads safety through pelvic coherence, attention naturally softens and perception widens. What began as an exercise reveals itself as an ancient awakening technology, a precise method for accessing states of consciousness through the somatic pathway. Body and awareness are not separate. They are two faces of the same fundamental reality, which reorganizes itself when we find the correct pattern. The first gateway opens when you understand that your feet are not passive supports. They are antennas transmitting information directly to the nervous system. Stand barefoot and feel the plantar tripod, the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the heel. These 3 points create a triangle of stability that informs the brain about your relationship with gravity. When you consciously press these points into the ground, you activate an ascending chain of stabilization that reaches the sacrum. The information travels through the plantar fascia, rises through the calves, moves up the posterior chain, and awakens dormant receptors at the base of the pelvis. Lie down and bend your knees, feet resting on the floor in alignment with the plantar tripod. Lift your pelvis until a straight line forms between knees, hips, and shoulders. This is the sacred geometry of the bridge. Most people stop here and miss the crucial moment. At the top of the position, you must pause and feel. Bring your attention to the triangular bone above the tailbone and notice how it responds to the alignment. The sacrum is not just a physical structure. It is a vibrational sensor that detects coherence or dispersal in your energetic field. When properly aligned, you feel a subtle sense of containment, as if something that had been leaking has finally been sealed. Now comes the real transmutation. Gently contract your glutes while keeping the perfect line. Do not force it, invite it. The glutes should respond like guardians, awakening, not like muscles being squeezed. At the same time, engage the abdominal wall with a soft embrace. Imagine you're creating a gentle pressurized capsule around your lower spine. This glute-abdomen coactivation is no coincidence. It is a neurophysiological design refined over millions of years of evolution. When these two muscle groups work in synergy, they create a field of stability that completely unloads the spinal erector muscles. The difference between brute force and intelligent stability is revealed in this moment. Brute force creates unnecessary tension, rigidity that blocks energetic flow. Intelligent stability generates dynamic organization, firmness that allows movement, containment that supports expansion. You will know you've found the correct pattern when your lower back visibly relaxes, when your breath naturally drops into the abdomen, and when a subtle warmth begins to spread through your glutes. These are physical signals that confirm ideal neuromuscular alignment. Hold this position for 3 full breaths, sensing how each exhale deepens the organization. Your body is learning a new code of stability, a pattern that will transfer into every daily activity. When you find this sacred geometry between knees, hips, and shoulders, you are literally reprogramming the way your nervous system reads structural safety. This is not just preparation for exercise. It is a fundamental recalibration of your relationship with gravity and presence. Now comes the true alchemy, the march that transforms a basic exercise into a reconnection practice. From the stabilized bridge position, inhale deeply through your nose for 3 seconds, allowing the air to reach the abdomen without losing pelvic organization. Lift one knee toward your chest, keeping the supporting hip at exactly the same height. This is the critical moment where most people fail. Your nervous system is testing your ability to maintain stability during disruption. Pass this test, and you access a new level of neuromuscular integration. The leg that lifts is not as important as the pelvis that remains still. Exhale slowly for 4 to 6 seconds as you lower the leg back down to the ground. This is the eccentric control that rebuilds your relationship with gravity. The controlled descent teaches your hip flexors to resist the stretch without letting the pelvis collapse. Every millimeter of the movement must be intentional, as if you were placing a fragile crystal precisely into position. Eccentric control creates unique neural adaptations. It improves intramuscular coordination, increases strength at longer muscle lengths, and trains the nervous system to remain in command during vulnerability. This phase of the breath activates the vagal brake, signaling safety to the brainstem. Repeat with the other leg, maintaining the breathing rhythm, 3 seconds to lift, 4 to 6 seconds to lower. The breathing pattern is not decorative. It is a direct regulator of your autonomic state. Long exhalations stimulate parasympathetic fibers that travel down the vagus nerve, altering brain chemistry in real time. Cortisol decreases, acetylcholine increases, and brain waves slow into frequencies that support integration and motor learning. Your body begins to associate physical effort with neurological safety, a fundamental reprogramming for anyone who carries chronic tension or trauma in the nervous system. The most important checkpoint happens at the moment you switch legs. The pelvis must not rotate, must not collapse, must not compensate. Any lost micro-movement here unravels all the work of stabilization. When you feel the pelvis begin to drop, stop immediately, reconnect with the glutes of the supporting leg, and restore the line before continuing. This precision is not perfectionism. It is somatic education that teaches the difference between compensatory movement and regenerative movement. Each conscious correction strengthens neural pathways that support stability without excessive effort. 6 marches on each side complete the series, but quality matters more than quantity. It is better to perform 3 perfect repetitions than 10 approximate ones. The body learns patterns, not numbers. When you find the correct execution, the nervous system records it as a new reference point for normality. This recalibration happens quickly, within just a few days of consistent practice. Pelvic stability becomes automatic, freeing up conscious energy for other functions. the lower back can finally relax from its chronic state of alert. True mastery reveals itself in the physical signals that emerge when you find the correct pattern. A subtle warmth spreads through the glutes, not the burning of excessive effort, but an organic heat that indicates ideal neuromuscular activation. The lower back experiences noticeable relief, as if an invisible weight had been lifted. The spinal erector muscles can finally rest after decades of compensation. The breath drops naturally into the abdomen without conscious effort, a sign that the diaphragm has regained full mobility. These physical indicators do not lie. When they are present, they confirm that you have access to a higher level of neurological organization. The entire body reorganizes around this new central stability. For beginners or those with limitations, start by lifting just the toes instead of the whole knee, a smaller movement that still challenges stability without overwhelming the system. Maintain the same precision in keeping the pelvis elevated. Advanced progressions include a march with a 3-second pause at the top before lowering, increasing time under tension and refining motor control. Some may add a resistance band around the knees to intensify glute activation. Adjust the practice based on how your body responds, always remembering that consistency in perfect movement outweighs intensity in approximate execution. The nervous system prioritizes quality over quantity. Integrate this pattern into daily life through micro-practices, 3 conscious breaths with glute abdomen co-activation before getting out of bed, 2 mental marches while waiting in traffic. The pelvic stability gained in the bridge transfers to walking, seated posture, and the ability to sustain prolonged activity without lower back fatigue. Your body develops muscle memory of this organization, activating it automatically when needed. You will notice the difference in simple gestures, picking something up off the floor without straining your back, climbing stairs without losing alignment, maintaining your center during long-standing conversations. The deepest connection happens when physical stability gives rise to expanded states of consciousness. A stable pelvis signals to the nervous system that it is safe to lower its guard and allow for wider perception. Attention anchors in the core of the body and, paradoxically, that grounding allows it to expand beyond its usual limits. Thoughts quiet down, the perceptual field widens, and a quality of calm emerges that reconnects you with the natural flow of life. This is not some abstract mystical experience. It is the neurophysiological result of a nervous system that can finally rest in the safety of a solid base. Practice daily for 2 weeks and observe the transformation. Lower back pain progressively decreases, posture straightens without effort, and your walk gains natural stability. More importantly, you develop a sense of physical confidence that radiates into every area of life. When you master your center, you master your energy. And when you master your energy, you reconnect with the source that has always been there, simply waiting for the creation of enough stability to be accessed. The exercise ends, but the transformation continues to echo through every movement, every breath, and every moment of conscious choice. Lauren carried a lower back pain that began subtly at the age of 40 and became a constant companion by 52. A seasoned physical therapist, she knew anatomy better than her own breath. Yet she couldn't apply to herself what she had helped heal in so many others. Her mornings began with stiffness, and her afternoons ended in deep fatigue that didn't come from the body alone. It was as if something at her center had disconnected. Patients sought her out for her technical expertise, but Lauren felt she had lost something essential: the ability to fully inhabit her own body. Every movement felt approximate, every posture forced, as if she were a temporary tenant inside her own physical structure. During a somatic education course, an instructor mentioned almost casually that most people lose control of the hips at the top of the bridge. Lauren felt a jolt of recognition, not muscular, but energetic. That afternoon, alone at home, she tried the glute bridge march with the kind of surgical attention she normally reserved for complex cases. On the third repetition, something shifted. Her glutes awakened with a subtle warmth. Her lower back visibly relaxed, and her breath dropped into the abdomen without conscious command. For the first time in years, she felt anchored in her own center, as if she had rediscovered a foundation she hadn't even known she had lost. The transformation unfolded gradually. Her posture straightened effortlessly. Her walk gained natural firmness, and the lower back pain dissolved within 2 weeks of daily practice. But beyond the physical relief, Lauren recovered presence, the ability to be fully where she was. Her practice changed. Patients began to comment that she seemed different, more whole, as if she radiated a grounded sense of calm. Lauren discovered that when we master our center, we master our energy, and when we master our energy, we reconnect with the source of vitality that has always been available, simply waiting for enough stability to be accessed. The exercise that began as a solution for lower back pain became a gateway to expanded presence. Now, seal this transformation into the body through physical markers you can track at any moment. A breath that drops naturally into the abdomen without conscious control is the first sign of integration. When this happens spontaneously, your nervous system registers stability as the new baseline. A subtle sensation of alignment in the pelvis, as if previously misaligned parts had found their correct position, confirms deep fascial reorganization. A diffuse warmth in the glutes, without excessive tension, indicates ideal neuromuscular activation that supports without strain. Your anchor gesture will be this. Place one hand on the sacrum, the triangular bone just above the tailbone, and take a long 6-second exhale while visualizing roots descending from that base into the center of the earth. Repeat 3 times whenever you notice your energy becoming scattered or your posture falling out of alignment. This conscious touch reactivates the body's memory of the stability you've cultivated, reminding the nervous system of the correct pattern without needing the full exercise. The gentle pressure of your hand acts as a direct signal to the sacral mechanoceptors that have learned to recognize safety. Your point of return is whenever life begins to scatter away from your center, roots in the sacrum, force rising up, followed by 3 long breaths and an upright posture that honors alignment. This 30-second sequence reconnects you to your center in any situation, whether at work, in traffic, or during a difficult conversation. The phrase anchors the practice in awareness. The breath regulates the nervous system, and the posture activates the correct muscular patterns. The hip alchemy reveals a truth that transcends cultures and time. Real transformation happens when we stop fighting the body and begin to listen to its wisdom. Every microfall you corrected, every breath that calmed your nervous system, every moment of attention anchored in your center, all of it awakens a quality of awareness that had been dormant. Stability is not rigidity. It is the ability to stay centered while life moves all around you. What began as an exercise for lower back pain has revealed itself as a portal to states of consciousness you didn't even know existed. Reconnection happens through the most direct path possible, the body itself as a gateway to awakening. Maurice Merleau-Ponty observed that the body is our general medium for having a world, and through pelvic stability, you have discovered a new way of inhabiting that world. Your body is not just a vehicle for consciousness. It is the temple through which it manifests. Every bridge performed with precision was an act of reverence. Every controlled march was a ritual of reconnection. You did more than strengthen muscles or correct alignment. You re-established sacred communication between your physical structure and expanded awareness. The lower back pain that brought you here was, in truth, a call to awaken. The discomfort was your body whispering that it was time to come home. To move consciously is a form of wordless prayer, a direct conversation with the forces that sustain us. When you find the correct pattern in the glute bridge march, you are participating in an ancient cosmic dance, the same one that aligns planets, makes trees grow toward the light, and keeps your heart beating without conscious command. Your pelvic stability becomes an extension of that universal harmony. You have discovered that awareness is not something you seek outside. It is something that emerges when you finally settle into your foundation through the precision of movement. What changed in you today cannot be undone. Once the nervous system experiences true stability, it holds that memory as treasure. Each time you return to your center, you are choosing awareness over autopilot, presence over fragmentation, power over helplessness. You didn't just find stability, you touched the creative force that governs constellations and pulses through you with every heartbeat. If this content resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. That helps us expand this revealing field of knowledge even further. I would love to know how you feel the hip alchemy working in your body. Share in the comments. I activate the maximum stability of my core and connect to the source. This affirmation seals your presence on the path of embodied awareness. Share this video with someone you know who needs to rediscover the silent power that lives in their own structure. And don't stop here. Click on the screen and dive into another transformative video from the channel. Every somatic practice brings you closer to the reality you were born to manifest. And remember, when your center aligns, you don't just support your body, you become the portal through which life expresses itself.